Whittward Carver, Snow White and the Seven Psychos, a fairy tale gone bloody bonkers. Alright, gather round, you twisted lot. Here's the tale of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, retold by yours truly, the linguistic love child of a wrecking ball and a library. Imagine this. A flipping castle, right? Inside, a queen who's more obsessed with her looks than a teen on Instagram. She's got this magic mirror, always asking it who's the fairest. Because, mirrors are the best source of validation when you're a self-absorbed nutjob. One day the mirror goes, "Sorry love, Snow White's got you beat." And the queen loses her blimey mind. She's like, "That little git? I'll bloody kill her." And off she goes plotting murder like it's a hobby. Meanwhile, Snow White's out picking flowers because apparently that's what innocent princesses do. She stumbles upon a cottage, and who's inside? 7 freaking dwarfs. Because why not? It's not like this story was written on some dodgy substances. These dwarfs, they're a right bunch. There's one who's always sneezing, one who's always sleepy, one who's always grumpy. Basically, a walking advert for therapy. But they take in Snow White, because apparently they're into that sort of thing. Back to the queen. She's trying to off Snow White like she's auditioning for a bloody action film. First, she tries a corset that'll squeeze her like a tube of toothpaste. But the dwarfs are like, "Nah mate, not today." Then she tries a poisoned comb, because apparently hair care is a deadly weapon now. But again, the dwarfs are like, "No blinking way, Jose." Finally, the queen's like, "Bollocks, I'll just poison an apple." And off she goes, dressed as an old hag, because nothing says, "Trust me, I'm not a murderer," like a disguise. Snow White, bless her naive little heart, falls for it. She takes a bite of the apple and drops like a sack of spuds. The dwarfs find her, think she's dead, and stick her in a glass coffin, because that's not creepy at all. Enter the prince, a charming bloke with a thing for unconscious chicks. He's like, "Oi, can I have her?" And the dwarfs are like, "Sure, why not? We're not using her." So, he takes her, gives her a kiss, because consent is for wimps apparently, and she wakes up. Because that's how bloody necrophilia works, right? Meanwhile, the queen's back at the castle, asking her mirror, who's the fairest? And the mirror's like, "Mate, please. Snow White's still alive, and she's snogging the prince. You're screwed." And the queen's like, bugger off. And then she bloody dies. Because apparently narcissism is a terminal illness. And that, my friends, is the messed up tale of Snow White and the 7 dwarfs. The moral of the story: don't trust old hags with apples. Don't stick unconscious chicks in glass coffins. And for the love of God, don't ask a bloody mirror for life advice. You're welcome. Oh, and one more thing. If you ever find yourself in a room with 7 dwarfs, just remember, what happens in the cottage stays in the bloody cottage. Have a laugh.